It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go.
Hey.
Thursday show, May 11th, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Braylon Edwards out today. Tom Mazawey in the big chair. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
What up, brother?
You?
We got Sam in the booth today. I love my guy, Sam Flannel. And we got Fletchy.
Love Sam Flannel.
We got Fletchy in the TD booth.
Fletchy Poo, how you doing, buddy?
We got the big four
Everybody's good. Flannel, you good?
Oh, I'm good. You know, the great thing about being sort of a friend of every show is you get to experience all different kinds of people, all different kinds of styles, and it has been quite the learning experience. So glad to be on with you guys again. Let's do a great show.
Look at you. Look at you. Hey, I just want to point out, too, Tom Mazawey, you are wearing the ugliest Detroit Tiger logo of all time.
I know.
But at least it is a Tigers logo, okay?
It is. And I was thinking, I'm getting dressed today. And I was like, I got to be on the big desk today. So I can't wear a Minnesota Twins jersey, a Tampa Bay Rays jersey, a New York Mets jersey, because I'm breaking my jerseys out now because it's short sleeve time. So I'm like, all right, I'll put this thing on. This is like the practice jersey from back in the, what was it, the 90s?
Yeah.
This was the 90s Tiger. He's still around.
No doubt he is.
Around.
I decided last minute to throw a Tigers hat on today.
Don't pull it down too much, though.
Well, this is the one.
I don't like when you pull it down too much.
This is the one that you got me, Maz.
That's the All-Star game.
And here, where I'm trying to, it's the logo with, what's the best way to do this? Like that. There's a star next to the D. It is for the All-Star game.
And the other side has the All-Star logo.
Oh, that's right. It does. Look at that. How about those Tigers, man, huh?
How about them? They're
Very
2.5
good.
games out of first.
Now, will you be going to any games this weekend?
All
of them?
Yes.
You will be going to all of them, won't you?
I have tickets for all. Sunday is going to be Mother's Day, and I happen to have Drew Lane's tickets.
Ooh.
So it's only 2 tickets. So what I'm doing is Kathy and Grandma will get Drew's 2 tickets. Me and the girls will sit in the seats down below them.
Okay.
So that's kind of, and we're going to go to breakfast earlier like that. But we'll let the moms have the Fancy Champions Club that day.
That's awesome. And they deserve
Thank you
it.
to Drew Lane.
And they deserve it, absolutely. Guys, big show for you today. We're going to talk to Ari Meirov, who covers the NFL for the 33rd team. He's on Twitter at MySportsUpdate.
I got a note from him last night.
That's great. Tell us about that.
I'm sitting there watching the Oilers game, pounding, of course, the Golden Knights, as I told you they would. And towards the end of the game, I get a text from Ari. Hey, Maz. And he sends me the text that the tweet he's going to put out at 7 in the morning. And it said, they believe in Detroit. They believe in Detroit. The Chiefs and the Lions will be playing September 7th, Thursday Night Football, against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions. That's an NBC Mike Tirico game.
And you know, Maz, this game, the NFL kickoff game, has been going on since 2002. They have never been a part of this football game before.
Nor should they have been.
No, and that's just not where this franchise has been over the last 2 decades. But they are here now, and this is a clear indication that the NFL likes where the Lions are, believes in this football team, and we'll see the full schedule when it comes out tonight. There are leaks. We'll get into those leaks.
We got a lot of the games done.
We do. We can do that as well. But this game, and Jim Leland said this is a different sport. I understand that. This is a different sport. But Jim Leland always used to say, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. And I think this might be the best time to play the Kansas City Chiefs.
When they're getting their rings?
Yes, I do, because on championship nights, I would like if I would have had a couple hours today and I didn't, I would have gone back to see just the last 5 years. Championship winners the following season, when they get their rings, what's their record?
Didn't the Rams lose the opener this year to the Bills?
Yes, the
Right?
Rams did.
The
lose.
What about the Bucks?
The Bills ran them off the court. They ran them off the field.
Yeah, in 2020, the Chiefs played the Houston Texans, which was kind of a mismatch anyway, but they were the defending champions, and they mollywopped Houston. So I think it's, if I'm remembering right, it's about even. Like,
Okay.
That's
What happened with Tampa Bay then 2 years ago?
But again,
We'll figure it out. But
yeah.
last year, Kansas City,
Right.
the LA Rams off their Super Bowl got their butts kicked by the Bills.
And you can go back in any sport, whether it's the Warriors or the Lightning, or that feels like a big pomp and circumstance night where you're worried about a lot of other things other than just the game.
Right. You might be right.
You know, and I'm not just talking about season openers, because I know Andy Reid is really good in season openers. He's got some crazy record in season openers. But there is a lot of extra things that happen when you win a championship. Everybody's excited about the rings. Everybody's excited about who's going to be in the stands, all that stuff. So we'll see what happens for the Lions. I think this is a huge stage, and this is a litmus test right off the bat.
Let me say this, and don't get me wrong. Hey, look, I'm so excited that my team is getting the National Public Pub. I'm happy for them. I just wish they weren't playing the Chiefs on the opener. I wish we were playing the Chicago Bears or the Minnesota Vikings or the Green Bay Packers or just someone in our division, even someone in our own conference.
Why?
Because first of all, I don't believe the Chiefs should be playing the Lions. The Lions were a non-playoff team. The champion plays always. It's like a rematch of a playoff game, or two really highly touted teams that had excellent seasons the years prior. I wish this was like the Bengals and the Chiefs for the opener. I know they're saving that one towards the end of the year, and we'll get to that. I just think that it would have been a lot easier and a lot more pleasing to the eye. I'm afraid the Lions, what if they go and get blown out by 14 points? How would you feel then? I know the spread's 7. The one thing I would do is bet the over. Okay, that's the one thing I would do. I don't know what it is, if it's 50, but I would bet the over. I just wish that the Lions weren't the 7-point underdog coming off the start.
But one of the things, too, that I think, and Flan will get you involved here, one of the things about this football team that I think Brad Holmes has indicated, and Dan Campbell for sure, they're not scared of anybody. They welcome this challenge. They welcome this stage.
They have no choice.
I mean, last year, I think every game that was scheduled anyway, now I think that, obviously the Sunday night game at the end got flexed, but they played at 1 o'clock on Sunday.
I loved it.
Other than the Thanksgiving game, every single week. That you can't get less respect than that.
And I love it. I loved last year's schedule, and it paid off for them. They were the perfect quiet storm. They went right through the year, and God knows if they get in the playoffs, they would have won their first playoff game since the early 90s.
But one of the things about this, Sam, is they are getting a lot of respect now. They will sneak up on no one.
Yeah, that's kind of the crux of it, because they become the hunted in a season after they didn't even make the playoffs. Obviously, they finished the season strong, had a winning record. That's all well and good. When it comes to them playing at Arrowhead in Week 1, I sort of agree partially with both of you. Ryan, I think getting them Week 1, coming right off of a Super Bowl win, getting their rings, there might be a little bit of a letdown for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think the Lions can sneak up on them. But to you, Maz, this is Arrowhead. This is the Kansas City Chiefs. This is one of the toughest places to play in the NFL, even when the Chiefs are bad. Right here, right now, in a vacuum, this is as good of a home field advantage at this time as you've seen any team at any time in NFL history. The Chiefs coming off of 5 AFC Championship game appearances, 2 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl appearances, 1 loss. That's a tough game. I don't really expect them to win. I'm at the point where I think they're kind of playing a little bit with house money, and as long as they look like they belong on the same field,
that's my line.
It's all well and good. But then again, they gotta stack up the wins when the schedule kind of eases up a bit.
What happens? Can I just ask a silly question? What happens if they go on the road and win?
Wow.
What happens if they go to Kansas City and win this football game, the only game in town, the entire country is going to be watching? The entire NFL is going to be watching. Every football fan in the world will be watching this game. What happens, heaven forbid, if they win?
They could. Last year, the Super Bowl champions went down. That was the Rams. The Chiefs could go down. The Lions are there. Mike Tirico is on the mic. You know deep down who Mike Tirico is rooting for, and he will paint Detroit in a phenomenal picture. There's no guy in the league that would do that like Mike Tirico would. He lives here, obviously, Michigander now, and has a secret love for the Lions. I know that for sure. I mean, you can just watch him and know he beams with Detroit pride. So who the hell knows? They might pull it off. The spread in reality, Ryan, if you were giving me this game like mid-season, I'm making it a 10-point spread.
Yeah.
And now it's only 6.5 or 7, depending on what sports book you go to. And we only got 4.5 months to know if that spread will change.
I mean, I don't think you can overstate this. If the Lions go into Arrowhead and win this game, it's one of the biggest Lions wins, period, in the Super Bowl era. Maybe the biggest regular season win in the Super Bowl era for the Lions. And that's just amazing. That, it's true, though. It is the This is the one game on their schedule that I think we can all agree, in theory, is sort of a league loss, one you pencil in as an L. If you go to 0-1 against the Chiefs at Arrowhead, all the Super Bowl expectations, they're in full swing, and this city will be electric.
And we did this last year, too, when the schedule came out, and we said, I know I said it, but I think collectively, you looked at the schedule, and you said the only automatic loss on that schedule was the Buffalo Bills on Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
I think if you talk to Lions fans who will see this schedule when it comes out, I think they will tell you that the only automatic loss is the Kansas City Chiefs. And I don't think it's an automatic loss. Now,
it's not anymore. Nothing's automatic.
I don't at all. The Chiefs have not lost an NFL season opener since 2014.
I was going to guess 7 years.
Yeah. So it's more. It's a long time ago since they lost a season opener, whether they're the champions or not the champions. But here we go, and you're going to find out real quick what the Detroit Lions 2023 season is going to look like. You will find out so quick. What a barometer.
I did say they'd open on the road. Remember your questions last week?
I do. Did you have that, road, by the way?
Yeah, because the winner, remember last year I said Philly opened at Lions. This year, Lions are going to open on the road. No way in hell I thought it was at the Chiefs.
I also said that, by the way. Now, did you give Fletch my video? I don't want to play it.
I did. He's got it.
We'll do that later. Yeah. But a little guess to schedule action.
We got you.
You know, we got to come back and pat ourselves. Since I know nothing ever, there's nothing that
comes
true. I'm a very, very big clown. Yeah. All right, guys, more of the NFL schedule, more of the Lions, the respect that they are getting on this schedule. We'll have that for you. And Ari Meirov from the 33rd team will join us coming up in about 15 minutes from now. But first, a message from Les Stanford.
I'm trying to buy a car right now from Les Stanford.
There you go. We appreciate you being well taken care of.
I'm talking to Goran.
All right. Goran helped me with my car as well. Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale, a trusted name for over 50 years. Les Stanford Buick GMC. Same great service that customers have come to know. Go check them out on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. And, of course, looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where you're trying to buy a car right now, Tom Mazawey. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
Quick.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to
something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Hey, welcome back to WoodwardSports.com. Subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube. Over 43,000 subscribers on that site. You can watch live there. You can watch live on Fox 2. You can watch live on WoodwardSports.com as well. We invite you to take a look at that shop, too. Good merchandise.
Shout out to your boss, Kevin. at Fox.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on your retirement.
Kevin Roseborough at Fox 2, longtime news director there. He is retiring tomorrow. What a great individual. Has impacted my life and my career so much. I don't even know. It's immeasurable. I'll never be able to repay him for what he's done for me.
He's the guy that found Ryan for us.
And my life, my family's life. I love that man. And maybe I'll talk more about him tomorrow. But I do want to get to this schedule release. So, as you know, Thursday night, NBC, September 7th, it's the Lions and the Chiefs. Now, the Packers, okay? The Packers
they don't have Aaron Rodgers. They're not going to get on national TV.
I cannot believe the Packers situation.
I'll tell you what, it's the mystique of Lambeau.
So, again, we're going to find out tonight and confirm all of this, but it appears that the Packers schedule has been released.
Yeah.
They have 5 primetime games, minus Aaron Rodgers.
Plus Thanksgiving.
So 6 primetime games if you consider Thanksgiving Day a primetime game. They're going to play Thursday night football against the Detroit Lions.
That's 2 Thursday nights for the Lions, by the way.
3 games on Thursday.
I know, but Thanksgiving won't count.
Well, the opener on September 7th. Then they play Week 5 at Green Bay, Thursday night football. And then they play on Thanksgiving Day, which is also a Thursday. But I can't understand 5 weekday games are 5 primetime games for the Packers. Also noted on this from Ari Meirov. The Green Bay Packers play the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day.
Yes.
So that's also one of the things that we were talking about on the schedule. I said they were going to play the Bears.
I said the Vikings.
But, nonetheless, it is a division game.
It is.
So Packers, Lions on Thanksgiving Day.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I love watching our division. Jordan Love might be an exciting guy to watch. We don't know. Obviously, the NFL thinks he's going to be okay because they've got 2 home games on Lambeau on Thursdays, on primetime, and the other 3 games are going to be on the road. So they must like this kid.
Well, they better, because nobody wants to watch a bunch of defense. It's just the way, I'm just being honest with you. Nobody wants to watch the Denver Broncos play a 15-9 game on a Monday night or a Thursday night.
Ugly offense, no. But good defense, yes.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
Look, I like a hockey game that's 1-0. I like a baseball game that's 1-0. That's what I like. Basketball, no.
We're talking about football. We're talking about football now.
I'm fine. Listen, last night I went down a rabbit hole because it was whose birthday was it yesterday?
Abby's.
It was Abby's birthday. It was also
your
Pat
daughter?
Summerall.
Oh, Pat Summerall.
who called many New York Giant games. So I go down the rabbit hole. I'm listening to all these Pat Summerall games, and what do I come across? The 1990 NFC Championship game at Candlestick Park against Joe Montana and the Niners. And the Giants kicked 5 field goals, including the game winner at the gun, to win 15-14. Defense? Thank you. I'm in the Super Bowl, and then they beat the Bills.
Okay.
And that defense stopped the Bills.
I guess I just have a hard time trying to figure out what good defense is and what crappy offense is.
Well, the Niners in those days had an awesome offense.
I'm talking about
the Bills scored 40 points a game.
I'm not talking about the 80s or the 90s. I'm talking about like the 2022 version of the Denver Broncos. The Broncos were on 5 times last year. It was horrific.
Because they thought they were going to be awesome.
And that's what I think about the Packers, too. I feel like the Packers offense, minus Alan Lazard, minus Valdez Scantling, who do they have?
They got a bunch of rookies, and they traded for who'd they get over there? Who'd Green Bay wide receiver get over there?
They're going to be a 3rd or a 4th place team in the NFC North this year.
Probably.
So I just don't understand why you would put them on. The Detroit Lions, though. Now, this is a leak from Detroit versus everybody.
Yes,
Detroit versus everybody put this leak out.
Yep.
So this is what they say. Detroit versus everybody has the Lions opening with the Chiefs, and then back-to-back home games, Seattle and Atlanta, at the Packers on Thursday Night Football, Carolina at home. So 3 of the first 5 are at home.
Now we added in games that I found from other leaks.
Yes.
So we're going to tell you this. Week 6 will be at Tampa Bay. Week 7 will be at Baltimore. Now you can continue.
Okay, and then you've got Las Vegas, Week 8 on Monday Night Football. At home in Detroit. So
then a bye week.
Whatever that date is, Week 8, Monday Night Football against the Raiders. Let's just stop there.
Yeah.
1 home primetime game. It doesn't appear right now that I've seen any Sunday Night Footballs on there.
Yeah, you're right.
No Sunday Night Football
Well,
at
this
Detroit.
is considered Sunday Night Football, the opener.
The opener is a Sunday Night Football on
It's a special
Thursday.
edition.
Yeah,
on
right.
Thursday.
Okay. But I think that's great. Ford Field is going to be rocking Week 8 against the Raiders on Monday night. Pretty darn cool.
Then they come back and they get a bye week, supposedly, in week number 10.
Okay.
Then they're home for the Chicago Bears. And then, well, you know, it's the Packers on Thanksgiving. So back-to-back NFC division games before Thanksgiving. You're going to know then how you are in the division. But what you haven't seen yet are the Minnesota Vikings, because they have not played the Vikings as of yet, and it's Week 13 coming up. Let's fill that in with the New Orleans Saints. It's the Lions at the Saints, and then the Lions at the Chicago Bears in Week 14. So they play the Bears in Week 11, come back in Week 14. That's kind of odd to me. That's kind of odd to me.
4 sets of back-to-back road games.
Yeah.
Wow.
That ain't easy.
No, it is not. And only one set of back-to-back home games. Oh, no, I guess the Chicago and the Week 11, Week 12.
Correct. That's
okay.
Thanksgiving doubleheader right
Who is
there.
that they play at the end of the season,
Here we go. Week 15, Denver at home. So Russell Wilson comes here in December. Week 16 at Minnesota. That is Christmas Eve. Week 16 is Christmas Eve. They will be in Minnesota playing at the Vikings.
Wow.
And then Week 17, it's a Saturday special game. Might be prime time, or it's going to be one of 2 games on that day. They play at the Dallas Cowboys. And that leaves us with the final week of the year. And last week we played this game, guessed the schedule. Here's what Ryan guessed last week.
Who will be the Lions' final home game? I have this one.
Okay, go for it.
I'm going to say they will end at home, because I think they're going to open on the road. So you don't go home or road. I think they open up on the road and they end at home. They end up at home against the Minnesota Vikings, because they will look ahead and project the Lions and Vikings to be the best 2 teams in that division. They will have them play on the final Sunday of the regular season for the division championship.
Big deal.
So I don't know how many more times I could be right.
But you did say that they were going to open at home.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You admitted it.
No, I didn't. Play it again.
You admitted it.
Play it again.
You said they don't play back-to-back home.
Who will be the Lions' final home game? I have this one.
Okay, go for it.
I'm going to say they will end at home, because I think they're going to open on the road. So you don't go home or road.
Okay, you got it.
How many more times can I be right? You can have your Malik Willis all you want, okay? Bad take. Right here.
Malik.
Bad take. Malik Willis sucks. Okay? Save it. Save it. I just don't know how many more times I can be right. I just can't. I can't. So please, ladies and gentlemen, save your Malik Willis stuff, because it's all you got.
Actually, listen to this.
Give me the Malik hate. Give me the Malik hate, because you know what? It's all you got.
So they basically play the Chicago Bears twice in 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. And
Twice in a month.
Then they play the Vikings twice in 3 weeks. That's stupid. You're so stupid. You're stupid. That's dumb. I hope this schedule is wrong. And I want to say another thing. What did we hate 3 years ago about the NBA draft? Sam, do you remember what we all hated?
What did we hate?
We hate leaks.
Oh, yes,
We hate
yes,
Adrian Woj
yes.
getting on and saying, oh, yeah, the Pistons are picking blah, 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 blah. Oh, the Pistons are going to make a trade here. And 2 minutes later, 3 minutes later, there it is. I hate that I already know the schedule. Because
Right.
now I'm not going to watch tonight. I'm not. I'll just turn it on.
Yeah, you don't have to watch
I'm not
tonight.
watching it. But I would have. It's a 3-hour show. For what?
I understand that because of all the world is digital now. That's why. And the amount of time that is spent on the NFL over the last 48 hours and over the next 48 hours will trump anything that a 3-hour special can provide. That's why. You leak this. Oh, opening night. You leak the international games.
Yeah.
Then you leak the opening night. Then you have this trickle out here. We've been talking about the NFL schedule for 3 days.
Thank God. Because we had nothing else to talk about this week except the schedule.
But that is why you leak the schedule. That is why these things happen. The NFL is not king because they're stupid. They've got Adam Schefter tweeting this. They've got Ari Meirov tweeting this. They've got Ian Rappaport tweeting this.
I know.
That's how you stay relevant. That's how you stay in the news.
But aren't you pissed a little?
No.
That you know the whole damn schedule?
I don't like it on draft night when I see on Twitter who the team is picking. And now a couple of people on the chat, and I see you on the chat, are saying, oh, Ryan, you said they were going to draft Bijan Robinson. Yeah, okay. I got the player wrong, but I got the position right.
If they stayed at 6, they would have taken Bijan.
Or they might have taken Jahmyr Gibbs.
They might have.
What I'm saying, I'm not
took a running back.
I'm not a talent evaluator. Their talent evaluation is how they do it. I was right in my line of thinking. And that is, yes, I got the player wrong, but I got the position right, and I got the line of thinking right. That might be deep for some of you out there, but, I mean, come on. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm still pissed. I'm going to talk to Ari here in a couple minutes, but I'm mad that I know the whole schedule now. Although we're having fun talking about it.
Now. All right. Guys, we're going to talk to Ari Meirov from the 33rd team. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Absolutely. Planet Fitness is thrilled to allow high schoolers ages 14 through 19 in the United States and Canada to work out for free all summer long from May 15th through August 31st. Teens can register beginning May 1st and officially gain access to the club on May 15th, coming right up, with registration open during the summer months through August 31st. Teens ages 14 through 19 who register for high school summer pass can help win a scholarship for their school and participate in a TikTok video contest for a chance to win academic scholarships. That's a great thing Planet Fitness is doing. And for everyone else, they got memberships starting at only $10 a month.
Only $10?
Only $10. Quite the deal. And you can get the Black Card for $24.99 per month with all kinds of amenities. Planet Fitness. Go there right now. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
You know, anytime I see a schedule that is released, I go back to the Who's that comedian's name?
Which guy?
The comedian that does the Gruden and does the
Frank Caliendo.
Frank Caliendo. Win. Loss for them. I mean,
he was doing Andy Reid.
I just grabbed the schedule and I went through. Tomorrow will officially. I think tomorrow, or maybe even today, we could have a preview.
We break out our records.
Yeah, we should do a record preview today, and then we should think about it and have an official record.
Because today's record will be a lot higher than tomorrow's record.
Like, I did this, and it says week 9 bye, and I put win. I mean, it is. We are drunk on Detroit Lions talk, man. We are so drunk on Detroit Lions love. And I just think it's so freaking cool that the NFL
It's about time.
has seemingly bought into this football team.
Oh, my God.
It's just
But isn't
great
it scary, too? It truly is.
No.
Listen,
You ain't scared.
last year when all those 1 o'clock games came out, I said, first of all, great. Because now the pregame is, we're done by 1 o'clock. That was the first thing. The second thing I said was, great. I can watch the Lions game, go to Buffalo Wild Wings, sit down, watch the Lions, and, of course, got my 1 o'clock games. Then I can get home and be ready for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers at Lambeau, or Cowboys at home, or Chiefs at home. The big game of the day is always at 4:30. We might get screwed here. We might be at the 4 o'clock, 4:30 range on some of these games, which will screw us from seeing the really good games. And I know our team now is supposedly good.
Stop it.
I'm just being a football fan to you.
I know.
Last year was
Don't be
absolutely
scared.
It was perfect last year.
Embrace the Lions being
Stoke
good,
not scared.
Tom Mazawey.
Stoke not
Embrace.
scared. Stoke not scared.
That's right.
Stoke not scared.
Very good. Embrace the Lions being good for once in your life, Tom Mazawey.
Ari's going to his phone now, so we should have him soon.
I think we got him right now. Let's go there now. He covers the NFL for the 33rd team. He's on Twitter at MySportsUpdate.
That's our guy.
The great Ari Meirov. How you doing, Ari?
Hey, Ari.
I've never had an applause. Is that new? I feel like that's new.
That's a new applause, yeah. We figured you were on. We wanted to add that in. Hey, man, I just want to say thank you last night for that wonderful text I got around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. You knew I'd be up, and you knew I'd be excited for the Lions. Listen, you got on the Lions train early, man, so you are officially with us. You are in the Lions den, my friend.
I mean, I was on the Lions train early, but I never expected them to be the first game of the year. I mean, this is like a different level of getting on the train right now. This is the NFL going from 0 primetime games on the initial schedule to putting you on the first game of the year. Back-to-back NBC regular season games now have been the Lions. I mean, who could have thought that would happen? Week 18
That's
last
right.
year, now week 1 next year. It's a crazy world right now in Detroit.
Well, they beat Aaron Rodgers. Maybe they could beat Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, you never know. And Ari, just what is the significance of the NFL putting the Lions on this stage? I mean, this game has been going on since 2002, this NFL opening kickoff game. And obviously, the Lions have never been involved in it. The last 2 decades have not been great around here. Really, the last 6 decades have not been great around here. But the NFL does view them as a team that is interesting, exciting to watch, and good. Do they not?
No, of course. I mean, there were definitely a lot of different options they could have picked from. I mean, you had the Super Bowl rematch. You had the AFC Championship rematch with the Bengals. You could have done the Bills. You could have done the Chargers. And they picked the Lions. There's multiple reasons behind it. First of all, the Lions were a really good team to end last year. There was a lot of excitement building up. And like we mentioned a lot of times here on the show, this is a team that not just Detroit loves right now, but all of America kind of really likes them. So I think the NFL realized that. But besides for that, like I mentioned, there were other options which might have been a juicier game, especially considering the Chiefs and who they played in the playoffs and all of that. But the NFL also realizes that the first game of the year, you could basically put anybody there, and they're going to put up gigantic ratings. So they were like, you know what, the Lions are a great story. Let's put them here in week 1, and we'll kind of save that Eagles game, that Bills game, and that Bengals game for week 8, week 9, or whatever it ends up being. So they kind of, settled on the Bills being an exciting team, but they saved those other bigger games for later.
Hey, we've got a lot of other websites putting out all kinds of guesses and all, and we've kind of almost got the schedule locked down. As far as the Lions on primetime, we see that they might be playing the Las Vegas Raiders at home on Ford Field on Monday night. So that might not be a bad matchup, but that's another AFC West team that the Lions get.
I mean, I'm still trying to figure out over here what's real and what's not when it comes to some of these things. I've seen there could be as many as 3 primetime games for the Lions. And, I was talking to somebody in the league about this, about primetime games, and it's like you realize, like, all the teams and the players would love to just have the 1 o'clock games, just like Detroit had last year. Like, the teams really want. So the fans obviously love the whole primetime element. You're in the spotlight. Everyone is talking about you, and it's great. But for the first time in a while, the Lions are going to get that primetime treatment. And the crazy thing about having the first game is the lead up for the entire season now is going to be about the Lions. Like, we're going to be talking about that Chiefs-Lions game. We're going to be talking about Dan Campbell. We're talking about Jared Goff. Not just us, but I'm talking about the entire national media. We'll be talking about that game in particular. And it's going to be the focus basically until we get to that September 7th night. Everyone will be talking about Chiefs versus Lions.
Talking to Ari Meirov of the 33rd team, covers the NFL for them on Twitter at MySportsUpdate. Ari, we were just talking before, and again, we'll confirm all this tonight, but somebody we think released a Packers schedule as well. And 5 primetime games for the Aaron Rodgers-less Packers.
6 if you count Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Tom. 6 if they count Thanksgiving.
I cut you off.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah, that is an accurate one. Matt Schneidman does a great job for The Athletic. Got it really early. Shout out to him. If you recall, when Tom Brady left the Patriots still got, I think, 5 primetime games with Mac Jones, which was like, or was it Cam Newton? It was one of those, but whatever it was. They still got 5 primetime games without Tom Brady. So Green Bay is a big market. They do always drive pretty good ratings regardless. Now, what the NFL is hoping for when you put up that schedule right now is that they don't turn into what the Broncos were last year for Russell Wilson, where it basically became unwatchable. So they're banking on Jordan Love at least being something in Green Bay, and they're going to be competitive in the NFC North. And if that's the case, they're going to be perfectly fine with it. I mean, if we go back to last year, the NFL kind of made a couple of mistakes with the teams they thought would be good, ended up being pretty bad. The Rams were one of those teams. The Colts were one of those teams. We mentioned the Broncos as well. So they're kind of betting on the Packers without Aaron Rodgers being a good enough team where they're going to be watchable. And we got to see Jordan Love a little bit last year on Sunday night against the Eagles when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. He looked pretty good, and the Packers are clearly all in on it. They did trade Aaron Rodgers. So the NFL is all in on him, and we'll see if it works out, because if it doesn't, we'll be hearing a lot about it come November, December.
Hey, we would not mind seeing another battle between Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes like we did a few years ago in L.A. when it was supposed to be in Mexico City and they had to move the game back to L.A. I remember there was smoggy and the teams looked awesome and they put up 50 points, 55, like 52-45 final. That would be pretty nice, and I think the Lion fans would love to see that out of Jared Goff.
That is what the NFL is really hoping for of that game. Yeah. If they get close to that, this is like the biggest win they've had when it comes to scheduling the first game of the year. That is, it's asking for a lot, but let's put it this way: you have Andy Reid, who off a bye, which I guess this is like the biggest bye you can get coming off the off season, is always going to draw up some really fun things. And you have Ben Johnson coming back with this offense, and Jared Goff coming back, of course, after his resurgence here last year. So everyone is kind of hoping that we get that. I mean, this is what the NFL wants. The NFL wants offense. They want scoring. I mean, they couldn't stand, what was like a 3 to 4 week period last year of Thursday Night Football where there was like literally no touchdowns for like 40 possessions in a row. It's pretty bad. So they're hoping that the this Lions-Chiefs games turns out to be that type of a battle where it's going to be like a 35-32 final or even higher, whatever it takes. The NFL wants scoring. They're protecting the quarterbacks. That's what they really want, and these two teams could do that, and they definitely see that.
Yeah, Al Michaels fell asleep on those Thursday night games in that period. I kind of think he almost retired during that Thursday night game, right?
Hey, Ari, I wanted to ask you, while we're talking about the Chiefs, and they're going to be all over the place on these primetime games. Obviously, they have the best player in all of football in Patrick Mahomes. I saw you talking yesterday about his contract situation. And I think that's such an interesting topic because the 10-year, $450 million, it sounded so big just a few years ago, and now it sounds so small.
Amazing.
So what do the Chiefs do there? What is the sweet spot? What should they do? What do you think they should do?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, and I didn't mention this in the video, and I probably should have. The reality is they could just do nothing also. I mean, he has 9 years left on that contract, so they really don't have to do anything. And Patrick Mahomes, to be fair, hasn't really said anything about it. Everything that this whole discussion that's come up, it's really because people are looking at the quarterback landscape right now, and he's currently 7th in the NFL in terms of average annual value, and eventually after Herbert and Burrow get paid, he'll be down to 9. So if you're going to a salary cap website and you're looking at the quarterbacks who are getting paid and you're like, where the heck is Patrick Mahomes? And he's by 9. It looks kind of bad for the most accomplished young quarterback in the NFL. So what I thought they would do, and I think they might consider this, they're not going to rip up the deal because, A, it's a very team-friendly deal, and it's really part of the reason why they've been so successful up until now, because they've been able to put all these pieces around him and extend a bunch of their core players. What they could do is essentially tack on more money somewhere in those 9 years that are left to basically bring the average up, so it's up to par with the rest of the quarterbacks. So the highest paid quarterback right now is 52 of Lamar Jackson. Mahomes is at 45. Let's say Herbert gets to 53 and Burrow gets to 55. Add more money once those deals are in and make the average look like it's 55.5. So it just looks that he's up to par, and you still have those 9 years left where you're able to basically move the numbers around from a cap standpoint, which the Chiefs have done an exceptional job at. So that was kind of my idea of it. And again, they might just do nothing. I mean, Patrick makes a lot of money off the field, which is part of the reason why he's okay with this current deal. The thing is, when he signed that deal, and people don't realize this, it was during the COVID offseason. And, teams were saying, we don't have enough money and all that, blah, blah, blah. And he got to a point where his overall cash flow for his contract is ridiculously low. He's made $63 million over the first 3 years of his contract. To put an example, Lamar Jackson is making $80 million in just 1 year of his contract.
Wow.
So the last 3 years, he's really not made – he's made, $20 million per year, $21 million per year, and he's bringing Super Bowls and AFC Championship games and so on and so on. So it's a very backloaded deal, and just the overall deal is just very low for what he does. So if he wants to adjust it and he comes to the Chiefs, they kind of don't have much of a choice because you want to keep that quarterback. So far, he hasn't done anything publicly. He might not do anything, but that was kind of the idea that I was floating out there.
All right, before we get off quarterbacks, I got to do this. Of course, our chat will never forgive me if I don't bring up the Lions quarterback situation, and that would be Jared Goff. And forget this year. This year, we know he's underpaid. If he does well, wins a playoff game, whatever, what would you do as Brad Holmes going forward now that you drafted Hendon Hooker and he is sitting and waiting in the wings?
It's a great question. I mean, I know there was a report out there, or Brad even mentioned it, about starting an extension talks with his agent or preliminary talks or whatever. I'm not sure if anything gets done. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Maybe they just want to see how he does this year. But it's the thing about that trade, with the Matthew Stafford trade, is everyone made it out to be that Jared Goff was just a throw into the deal, and that was really part of getting the extra first-round pick. But people kind of forgot this guy was a former number 1 overall pick. He did go to a Super Bowl. He was in that game, in that shootout against Patrick Mahomes. It's not like he's some scrub who's not good. So last year he finally showed what he was capable of doing. So if he does that again, he's still pretty young. I mean, you guys could tell me what his age is, but I'm pretty sure it's under 30, right? So
yeah, it's like 28.
Yeah, so he's still a very young quarterback. We have quarterbacks going until they're 35, 40, 45 years old. So he has a lot of years left. So if he proves that he's still capable of being that guy and proves it once again this year, I mean, we know how hard it is to get quarterbacks in the NFL. And if the Lions do make it to the playoffs next year, and we're jumping very far ahead right now, the point is, if that does happen, they're picking in the 20s, right? So your chances of getting a Caleb Williams or Drake May is basically out the window. So Jared Goff is your guy, and he's proven to be the guy. So if everything does go well this year and Jared continues to prove that he is the quarterback we saw last year, I don't know if there's going to be Lions fans out there who are saying, we got to upgrade and find somebody else.
Right.
He's clearly capable of doing what it takes to get you to the places where you weren't at these last several years.
Hey, let's get back to the schedule. Ari Meirov joins us, by the way, from the 33rd team. Check him out at My Sports Update. Ari, the Jets and the Bills open up Monday Night Football this year on the 22nd anniversary of 9/11. We're going to see a lot of Jets this year. What's your take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets going forward?
The Jets are going to be maxed out on primetime games. They will have the max 6, and they are going to have the Black Friday game, which doesn't count as a primetime game. They're going to have a bunch of 425 games, including Week 2 against the Cowboys. So we're going to see Aaron Rodgers a lot on TV this year. The NFL took a big-time advantage of him coming to New York. And it's interesting because, as a New Yorker, I'm here in New York, and I get to see all this. This is a team that just simply hasn't been that good for a long time. Last time they made the playoffs was 2010, I believe that is, or 2011. That's the longest drought in all 4 major sports after the Kings made the playoffs. So him just coming to New York is like a big deal already because you sense the excitement. Now the part of it is like you're in the AFC and it's a gauntlet. So that makes it a little bit more difficult, and that's why while everyone is talking about playoffs and even Super Bowl here, you got to calm it down a little bit. But this is a team that simply at one point last year they were, I believe, 6-2 or 6-3. They beat the Packers and Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, and essentially their quarterback, whether it was Zach Wilson or Mike White or whatever it was, Chris Streveler for a little period, it just wasn't it. I mean, they just couldn't get the job done. I mean, they had the reigning offensive rookie of the year and the reigning defensive rookie of the year, and they just couldn't win games. They just couldn't. So now you bring in Aaron Rodgers, and that defense with Robert Saleh was exceptional last year, and with a really bad offense. So if Aaron just does enough, if he plays the way we expect him to play, the Jets are basically looking at this like, you know what, we have a really good defense. Our offense is finally being normal now. And all of a sudden, we think we could be a playoff team. So I think that's the vision that they have. There are a lot of really good players on that team. The one thing that I am a little bit concerned about is their offensive line, which there's a bunch of players there, but nobody really knows what their positions are right now. Like Mekhi Becton, is he a left tackle? Is he a right tackle? Could he stay fit? There's questions there. Dwayne Brown is a really aging player. Max Mitchell was a rookie last year, showed some signs of improvement, and so on. Elijah Vera Tucker was injured last year. The offensive line is a bit messy and shaky right now. So that's the one thing that I'll be keeping an eye on come training camp. But overall, I mean, in terms of excitement for this team in New York, it hasn't been like this in forever. And probably the craziest stat, I'll just end off with this, they haven't been on Sunday Night Football since 2011. And now they're going to have multiple football games. I mean, it was the longest drought, which is crazy to New York team, and with Aaron coming, they're going to be on primetime a lot.
Hey, I'm from Jersey, so I grew up in Jersey. I've been a Giant fan my whole life. I come here 30 years ago. I love the Lions. So I call the Jets the Lions of the AFC. I mean, the Jets and the Lions, you could put them next to each other. The Jets have had more success than the Lions. They made 2 AFC championship games versus this 1 NFC championship game. But I feel you, man. Believe me when I tell you. But my time is here. The Jets and the Lions, man, are finally good at the same time.
I'm sure you've spoken about it, guys, but talk to Braylon about that 2011 and 2010 year when the Jets were good. Talk about the city and the excitement was there. It's a different level that you'll ever see when it comes to New York, when the sports teams are good. Like we have the Knicks right now, and you feel it a little bit. When the sports teams are good and they're in the playoffs and they're close to making the championship or whatever, it's a different level of excitement. I mean, Brilliant could talk about it all day, probably.
Same here.
Hey, Ari, last one from me. The NFL is, interested in ratings and a television show. That's why they take so long to wait for everybody to be signed so they can see where everybody is and make the schedule accordingly. If the NFL is a television show interested in the best ratings, who would you think they want secretly, not openly? Who do you think they would want to see in the Final Four? Would it be Chiefs, Jets, Eagles, Lions?
Lions? Sounds like Chris Berman.
I mean, I think they've gotten to a point where it really could be any 4 teams and they'll be fine. Like, I remember that one year where it was Jaguars Patriots, I think, in the AFC Championship game, and they still did pretty good when it comes to the ratings. That was what? Blake Bortles and Tom Brady. there was a chance that 100 million viewers. So, like, I think it's the end of the world. Which 4 teams are you going to choose? Which brings the best numbers? I've always really wondered what's going to happen if the Cowboys make it to the Super Bowl in this day and age. Like, I really want to see what the numbers will truly be. It just hasn't happened, obviously. But even the NFC Championship game, I want to see, like, if the Cowboys are there, does the number really skyrocket to a different level the way we all talk about the Cowboys? That's the one that I've always kind of wondered about. They're always in the wild card game. They sometimes make it to the divisional game, but they're always knocked out. Like, if they make it there, is the impact that much bigger is something that I've always wondered. But maybe it happens this year. But as you guys have mentioned, there's some competition there with Detroit.
The great Ari Meirov, we cannot thank you enough, Ari. Covers the NFL for the 33rd team. Great info there. It's a great site as well. We invite you to check it out. They are on Twitter at the 33rd team FB. And, of course, Ari's individual account at My Sports Update. Ari, thanks for doing this, my friend.
Thanks, Ari.
Having me on, guys.
You got it. Ari Meirov. And look, I think if you project a Final Four in the AFC, I do think Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes. That would be something clear
they really want
that you would want.
They the NFL want the Jets from the AFC
without question.
Not even a question about it. And they in the NFC would probably take the Dallas Cowboys if you really wanted
probably
the absolute perfect NFL
Eagles
finish.
Cowboys.
No, they would
NFC East?
Yeah, they would take the Cowboys over the Eagles.
No, I know, but I'm saying Final Four teams.
I don't know, man.
You know, in the NFC Championship and the AFC Championship.
That would be pretty cool.
We'll talk more about it, more schedule release stuff coming up next. And lots of NFL news as well outside of schedule stuff. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars. One for you, one for your kid, one for your parent, one for your wife, for your girlfriend.
Abby needs a car.
There you go. All you have to do is get your hair cut at Lady Jane's.
I do.
They're open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Always great to have Ari Meirov on. The guy is really making a name for himself and the website in which he works for, the 33rd team.
I love that.
That is so good. So much great content
there. It's made up
there.
of NFL players, GMs, coaches, guys that don't play it anymore but are still involved. That is all inside NFL stuff.
Right.
Good stuff.
No doubt. And we invite you to hit the like button as well. Let's see if we can get to over 125 likes by the top of the hour. That is 6 minutes from now. Everybody on YouTube, over 650 live viewers right now. Hit that like button for us if you are so inclined. Helps YouTube push our content out to more people. And we'd appreciate it. WoodwardSports.com for all the latest news, articles, and the shop.
Are you going to watch the schedule release tonight? You going to watch the playoff game?
Of course. No,
I'll baseball. I go all over the dial.
Yeah, I'll flip, obviously. I'll flip. Tigers are off today, so.
Yeah, but I go to 258 MLB Network.
Yeah.
They have a regional game on all the time. And so it's great. I love flipping around. I can go on my phone. And,
you know when I do that?
I got the MLB package on my phone.
You know when I do that? When the Tigers are good.
Yeah.
If the Tigers are good, I'm more interested in baseball.
But see, you don't play fantasy sports.
No, I don't.
Me, I'm I am so deep into fantasy baseball, rotisserie baseball, that I have to know what the hell's going on because I'm involved in it. I just love it. I like keeping track. Like last night, I go on. I see the freaking Red Sox got the lead on Atlanta. Okay, I got not Matt Riley. I got what the hell's his freaking first name? Austin Riley coming up. Great player for the Braves. He's got 2 men on, and that's my guy.
Right.
And he strikes out. So little things like that. It keeps you involved. I think fantasy sports is really great for keeping your interest.
I totally agree with that assessment. I guess what I was trying to say is outside of fantasy sports, if your team is good in anything, you pay more. Outside of the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, you just watch any NFL game that's on, you just watch it. It doesn't matter what it is.
It doesn't matter.
But if the Pistons are good, I'm more interested in watching the NBA because I just want to follow the game more. If the Red Wings are good, I'm more apt to watch hockey. Heaven forbid the Tigers are good. I'm keeping one eye on the Twins and the Padres in the last series. Twins win a game in extra innings last night against the Padres.
To keep it 2.5.
And I know we're only in May, but I do not watch that game or even know that the Twins are in a series with the Padres right now if the Tigers aren't close.
Gotcha.
So it just makes it more fun.
They got the Mariners coming in this weekend. They're fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Then the Pirates.
Hey, get back to the NFL schedule for a second and this Cowboys situation because I think Ari brings up a really good point about the Dallas Cowboys and the absolute fascination that national talk shows have with it. I understand the Yankees and the Red Sox thing because the Yankees and the Red Sox actually win World Series. I don't really truly understand the Dallas Cowboys thing.
They used to win.
They just have no success.
But they used to win.
30 years ago, 25 years ago.
They've been winning since the early 60s.
But it's been
when they were an expansion team.
It's been a quarter century.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
I mean, the Pistons won a quarter century ago, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
but the Dallas Cowboys are not the Pistons.
I understand that.
You don't think they're still America's team?
But I guess that's what the Dallas Cowboys equivalent in the NBA would be the Knicks, who have also not won in 50 years.
Probably the Lakers. The Knicks have been so bad so long that people forgot they even exist. Yesterday was the 50th anniversary of them winning their last championship. Man. They beat the Lakers in 5 games. And you know what they did? They all ran off the court into the locker room. Like they won. They shot the ball. They won. Keith Jackson called the game for ABC, and that's it. They ran off the court with their arms up like that. They didn't stay on the court for 1 second.
That is crazy.
That's how it was back in those days. But 50 years, so you forgot about the Knicks. You never forget about the Cowboys.
Unbelievable.
You don't forget about them.
Guys, I want to get back on time, so I'm going to take another 60-second break. When we come back, we'll go through the NFL. There is Tom Brady news out there as well. We'll get you that. But first, a message from Big Boy.
All right, Big Boy, you know it. Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy, better than ever. Want to take there for breakfast and try it out. There's strawberry hot cakes with a mouth-watering red velvet waffle. And if you're not feeling breakfast, how about a little lunch or a snack? The strawberry bacon chicken wrap, or cool off with the summer splash salad. And don't you dare leave without grabbing dessert, especially the classic strawberry pie or the deep fried vanilla Oreo, or even the strawberry hot fudge cake. All that and more at Big Boy.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Top of the hour here. Hour number 2 of the program. Ryan Ermanni. Braylon is out today. Tom Mazawey on the desk. Sam Flannel is in.
I'm watching you guys. I just can't respond.
Very good. Tom Mazawey is monitoring the chat from the desk today.
A lot of clown emojis. A lot of Malik still. Maz, shut up. No one cares about the Jets. I'm not forgetting you guys. I'm taking your number.
You know who we got to talk to maybe next week?
Sam Flannel?
No, is our good friend Mike Dana.
Oh, Mike Dana from the Chiefs.
From the Chiefs. Defensive tackle from the Chiefs. We got to call him and see what he thinks about the vaunted
high school did he go to?
Detroit Lions. He went to De La Salle, Warren De La Salle High School. Then, of course, Central Michigan and the University of Michigan. Mike Dana.
Boy, he's had a nice little career, huh?
Absolutely. Couple of Super Bowl titles as well. Looking at this guy, and I officially want to do this tomorrow.
That's fine.
But I did my win-loss with the Lions schedule that I have here currently.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Okay.
I did my...
look at that. I didn't get a chance yet.
So, I think my fake number, and I don't know if you can see this on here. I think my fake number is 13-4. I think my realistic number
Don't say it yet. Wait tomorrow.
Well, I mean, I'm just looking.
Okay.
11-6. I don't see any less than 11 wins on this schedule. Now, I really got to sit down and look at it. But
we'll do
13-4, 11-6, 13-4. That's what I'm going with right now, without really looking at it.
All right, we'll dive more into it tomorrow.
Very good, Tom Mazawey.
I wanted to ask you about the Monday night game I brought up, the Jets and the Bills. Are you good with that on 9/11? I think that's a nice touch.
Well, it's got to be a New York team. I'd rather Jets and the Bills, two New York teams, than the Giants and the
Cowboys. Guess what? They're playing on Sunday Night Football.
Look at that.
So they're playing the day before. So they're playing on the 10th. It'll be the Giants and the Cowboys in Dallas. So the Jets get MetLife Stadium to themselves for the Bills the following night. So back-to-back games at MetLife ain't going to happen. Giants at the Cowboys Sunday Night Football.
I feel like is there a potential that the Jets could suck? I think so many people, could this be a Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, Bucks, Rams situation, or a Russell Wilson, Denver Broncos situation?
I think this is going to be
I'm talking about the Aaron Rodgers to the Jets.
I think
will it look more like Brady and Stafford, or will it look more like Russell Wilson?
It's going to be more like Tom Brady and the Bucs, and it's because Robert Saleh's there, and he is the coach. It ain't Hackett. Hackett couldn't hack it in Denver. He was way over his head. It was a bad hire. They hired him so they could bring Aaron Rodgers in. It never happened, and they were over their head. No one was there to really coach Russell Wilson until the end of the year when he started heating up, when he got the right people in there. And he's got Sean Payton there now. So I would expect the Denver Broncos, we're going to see them 3-4 times on national TV as well. But Washington and Dallas is the other Thanksgiving Day game. The Lions have the 12:30 game. The Cowboys have the 4 o'clock game. So it'll be Lions and Packers early. And
I didn't see this one.
Yes, and then follow that up with the Cowboys and the Redskins. The Commanders.
Okay, now I wonder what the night game is.
I don't know.
On that.
I really don't care by then. I'm usually pretty done by then.
That's true.
And what I mean by that is I'm visiting family. We've already eaten.
You're exhausted.
I'm exhausted. I just want to get home. Because all day I've been downtown Detroit. Then I'm going to Bloomfield Hills. Then I got to go back to St. Clair Shores. I'm done.
That's kind of how I feel about it, too. That 8 o'clock game on Thanksgiving night, I just want people out of my house at that point. Get out of the house.
You know what I do on Thanksgiving
night? Go to your homes.
Oh, I just want to chill out.
Go home, but you got to get up out of here. Bye.
And then you got the Egg Bowl. As well.
The Egg Bowl.
Mississippi State.
How could I forget about the Egg Bowl?
I mean, you got all kinds of action on Thursday night at Thanksgiving.
A lot of action. So continuing on that little tweet that we had up there, you have the Chiefs and the Raiders, two teams that used to hate each other back in the day on Christmas Day. Christmas Day, you're going to get to see the Chiefs and the Raiders.
The Raiders to me are a team that I'm not all that interested in this year either.
I'm with you.
And
usually I love seeing them.
Yeah, I am more interested in the Broncos because of the addition of Sean Payton as head coach. I think that Russell Wilson will make a comeback. And I do think that is one of those dark horse teams. Sam Flanagan will get involved here if you'd like. The Broncos feel like a dark horse team that nobody is talking about, nobody expects anything out of, to be a really sneaky team in the AFC.
Well, I'll tell you what, the fall from grace that the Broncos had last year, and particularly Russell Wilson, was staggering and shocking to, I think, everyone. And for me, Russell Wilson, he had a Hall of Fame career in Seattle, and you don't just lose it all overnight. I think Nathaniel Hackett had a lot to do with it. So I expect a little bit of a bounce back from the Denver Broncos. I mean, they have some pieces on defense. They have some weapons, in particular a guy like Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. So it wouldn't shock me at all if the Broncos have a winning season next year and bounce back a little bit. Russell Wilson cannot be that bad again, especially with Sean Payton, an offensive mastermind, as his head coach.
I would pick him right now as comeback player of the year.
Wouldn't shock me at all.
I would bet on that.
Yeah.
If I could find that bet, I will bet on Russell Wilson being comeback player of the year. He was too damn good to look that bad, and he was awful last year. I mean, they had no offense at all. Of course, it hurt when Javonte Williams went down at the beginning of the year. They had no running game. I think they were just signing guys off the street to try to play football, and it just didn't work out. And you got their receivers. They didn't trade any of them. They kept them, so he's got himself a couple of good receivers. They got a young tight end. We'll see what they do.
I think the Raiders will be a fourth-place team in the AFC West. Now,
with Jimmy G even.
Yeah, I mean, that division, you got the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Raiders. So I think the Raiders finish last in that division. Where the Broncos and Chargers go, one of those two quarterbacks is going to miss the playoffs this year. Is it going to be Justin Herbert or is it going to be Russell Wilson?
Remember last year we had all four teams making the playoffs.
We did. I don't think that'll be the case this year. I think
it's too tough out
because
there,
you've got to add the Jets
and
this year.
Deshaun Watson and the Browns.
I think that is a team that nobody is talking about at all. They're completely disregarding the Cleveland Browns. You may not like him, but he has not forgotten how to play football, Deshaun Watson. And they've got a really good running game. They've got a wide receiver over there.
Yeah, they got a couple.
They've got a couple,
great
that's
trades.
right. So that's a team that can be dangerous in that division. You've got Cincinnati there. You've got Ravens have improved. Miami has improved. The Jets have improved. That AFC is as tough as we have ever seen football.
I picked the Bengals the minute the season ended last year. I'm like, the Bengals are my pick for the Super Bowl. But they're not going to have great odds. If you want to make some money, you're going to look around that AFC and possibly a dark horse in the NFC if you're betting a Super Bowl champion. Because I know I always like putting the future bets in there. You know, like
keep you interested all season long.
Yeah, it keeps you interested. It keep you. I still got my ticket. Oh, I remember the year that the Pistons played the Trailblazers.
Mm-hmm.
Remember they beat the Blazers for the championship? I was in Jersey then, and for some reason I like Buck Williams. Buck Williams was traded to the Blazers, so I'm like, I'm gonna bet $25 on them to win, and they were like 40-1, and they made it to the freaking NBA championship game against your Detroit Pistons. And I like the Pistons. I love the bad boys, man, but they broke my heart that year. I mean, they took money right out of my pocket that year. So it's always fun to bet a future bet. That's all I really meant to say. I want to put up a graphic for you, Fletch. Put up the NFL official games so far. That NFL.com, Ryan.
Yeah.
These are the official games that have been released, and I probably should have done a sheet for you. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So obviously kickoff game, week 1 Monday Night Football, Buffalo and the Jets. We talked about that. Then the international series. We discussed that the other day. Sunday Night Football, week 5, Cowboys at 49, or Cowboys home versus the 49ers. Then you've got all those international games again. The Black Friday game, the Dolphins and the Jets. Rematch of the NFC Championship game in Week 13, the 49ers-Eagles. Christmas Day doubleheader. You've got the Raiders at the Chiefs. and the Giants and Eagles.
That's pretty cool.
On Christmas Day. That is very cool. And then Week 17, a rematch of the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
The Bengals and the Chiefs. NFL Network tonight for the rest of the schedule. You know, I just look at the AFC. Go ahead. You got something to say about that?
That game, the Chiefs and the Bengals. To me, that should have been the opener. But then when we had Ari on, he hit it on the head. You could put St. Mary's against Kansas City, and we're going to watch it in Week 1. Why not save that game to the end? But what if one of those teams has everything wrapped up? That's a wasted game then, because they're not going to play all their starters. That's why I don't like doing that kind of game that far ahead. To me, that's way too far ahead. And they think it's probably for the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Potentially.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to point this out, too, as I look at the AFC. I'm so fixated on the AFC. I apologize for that. But that's where all the good quarterbacks are. And quarterback play runs the NFL. Count these teams out for me. You ready?
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Miami. The Jets.
3.
Cincinnati.
4.
Baltimore.
5.
Cleveland.
6.
Kansas City.
7.
Denver.
8.
Chargers.
9.
Jacksonville.
10.
How many teams is that?
10 teams.
How many teams make the playoffs? 7.
7.
There are going to be 3 of those quarterbacks that do not make the playoffs. I don't know who you can tell me right now that is not going to make the playoffs.
Holy crow.
Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa. I think Miami's a really good football team.
And they got good backup now in Mike White.
Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, and I'm giving Jacksonville the division, the AFC South, so I think they're going to make it.
You don't believe in the Jags?
No, I'm saying I'm giving them a division championship.
Okay.
But I mean, Tennessee, Indianapolis, Houston, I'm not counting that.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm giving Jacksonville the division, so they are going to win that division. So
if you wanted a sure bet, guys, you could bet the Jags to win that division, even if it's even money.
Right.
Even money. Put 100, win 100.
I mean, I don't see one team in there. And I didn't even mention the Pittsburgh Steelers, who were 9-8 last year.
Wow. That's 11
The
good
New England
AFC
Patriots,
teams.
I didn't put the Patriots in there. And the Patriots
They're over under a 7.5.
They were 8-9 last year and are probably a better football team this year than they were last year. So that conference is just loaded.
It's a juggernaut.
I mean, if you had to tell me right now, okay,
I would take out Russell Wilson.
Scratch out Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson.
Those 2.
And then you're talking the Chargers, Miami, and the Jets for 1 spot.
I would take the Chargers out of those 3.
Out. Okay, so who gets it between Miami and...
don't they both make it? You had 10.
Buffalo, Cincy, KC. Baltimore. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, they both make it.
Because the other ones were also eligible, so the ones you put in late.
Hey, news regarding Tom Brady. We'll do that next, but first a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people. All you have to do is call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out. That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out.
I saw one today on my way
Oh,
in.
and you yelled at that
I beeped
truck.
at him.
Stay out. Tell him Woodward Sports sent you.
Yeah.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hey, welcome back, WoodwardSports.com. It is so fun to be talking NFL football on this Thursday, May 11th, because you look outside, the sun is shining. It's going to be a great weekend, Mother's Day weekend. The Tigers are in town. They are playing really good baseball. I invite everybody to go pack that park this weekend. Tom, you're going to be there.
Yes, sir.
All 3 games.
All 3.
Absolutely. It is so cool.
Want to join me?
No.
Okay.
Thanks. Very good.
What are you doing for Mother's Day?
Mother's Day, we do a brunch somewhere. I usually have it at the house, but it's a little bit different Mother's Day for us.
Yeah.
We got some family situations going on, some illness that we're dealing with, so we are just going out, going to do a quick brunch.
Okay.
Saturday, my sweet little Lydia does her first communion, so we're having
how
people
great.
at our house.
I love it.
So it's going to be a busy weekend.
Aw.
Busy weekend.
What a perfect day you're going to have.
Absolutely. No doubt.
Enjoy it, man.
It is very
Enjoy
good.
those kids before they hate you.
Before they talk back to me.
That's
And they're
it.
already talking
I
back
know.
to me. Tom, I wanted to get to this because I love this. There's something inherently that I love about it. Tom Brady's going back to New England for the opener. And it is unclear what is going to be announced for them. But, whether it's a statue, whether it's a jersey retirement, he will be there for the home opener and honor him for his years in New England.
It's a I Love Tom Brady Day at Foxborough. And we think it's going to be week 2 at New England. And they think it's going to be against the Dolphins, which they think it's kind of like a dig at the Dolphins, because what did they do to the Patriots? They went behind their back and tried to woo Tom Brady.
That's true.
To come to Miami. So I'm hearing some of that talk, that it was we wanted against Miami so we could show them go to hell. I don't know if that'll work, but I still believe Tom Brady will be an owner one day of an NFL team, and I do believe it will be the Miami Dolphins.
You got anything on that, Sam Flannel?
I mean, you know my feelings on Tom Brady, but at the same time...
No, what are they?
I mean, I think he's had quite a bit of luck and good fortune in his career, but when it comes to all the accomplishments, especially for what he did for the New England Patriots, he's obviously an all-time great, and at some point, the Patriots are obviously going to honor him, as they should. He's the best player in franchise history and the best quarterback ever. Patrick Mahomes is coming, by the way, but still, why not? At some point, you just got to make it right. He's the man there. They should have a Tom Brady Love Fest day.
What does that mean for Bill Belichick? That's what I was thinking.
I think he understands. I think he understands how great you never.
Do you think he knows he made a mistake letting him go?
You never know what you have until you've lost it. That is really the only. That is how change comes, when you have to be accountable to something, right? When you deal with loss, that is what brings about change. And Bill Belichick understands that. You know what? Maybe it was a combo of us. It wasn't just this New England Patriot way. It was a Tom Brady dedication to his craft. And look, quarterback's the most important position in sports. If you have a quarterback that is able to do what Tom Brady did mentally,
you have everything.
You got anything you want.
Yeah.
And as Joe Burrow says, the window becomes your entire career. At that point, no matter what the roster.
Is that what Joe Burrow said?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Nice, I like that.
What's the window? My entire career.
I love that. Boy, he is something.
Isn't that great?
My daughters are head over heels over that guy.
You like that guy, huh?
I like him.
I'm sure you like J-Mo too. What did he do, Tom Mazawey?
Let's show it to you. J-Mo was out on the streets of Detroit the other day. Well, kids were selling bottles of water. Here's J-Mo. What's he doing?
Get them water from them boys, man.
He's handing out $100 bills.
That's awesome.
He's handing out $100 bills. Those kids were asking for $1 for a bottle of water, and he's like, "All right, here's $100 each."
That's
and I
so
think he
great,
gave out at
man.
least 5 or 6 of them.
I always try to buy water if I see one. If I see him out there selling, I always try to buy a water.
Of course.
Yeah.
And in front of Tiger Stadium, in front of Comerica, I like buying the peanuts and the waters out there before I go in and have to spend $8 on a bag of peanuts and $8 on a bottle of water.
No
doubt. I do
doubt.
love the Pepsi Pour at Comerica. Great Pepsi.
There you go. What else
at
you got,
Comerica
Tom?
Park. This is a great story, guys. First of all, Foster Moreau from the Raiders. He's a tight end. Went into free agency last year. Had a physical and found out that he was sick with Hodgkin's lymphoma. and had to put his free agency on hold, obviously, to get healthy. Well, guess what? He's healthy enough now that he just signed a deal with the New Orleans Saints. 3 years, $12 million, and he's going to play this year in 2023.
Is that something or what?
That's hits you right in the heart.
That is so great to have that recovery. And it's stories like that, human stories like that make you root for the guy.
And they gave him guaranteed money,
Look
too.
for 87 of the Raiders to be a big-time jersey seller this year, too.
Well, it'll
right?
be on the Saints.
The Saints.
Yeah, the Saints.
Same thing.
It will be. It will be. 87 on the Raiders myself, too. But 87 on the Saints is going to sell a little bit more. Here's another one for you. A guy that changed jersey numbers last year. We talk about him a lot. And he was a Lions killer, Dalvin Cook. The Vikings are actively shopping Dalvin Cook. So, hey, get him the hell out of here. I don't care. Sell him.
I don't
get him
know
out of the North.
I don't know what to make of this.
He's another guy that hasn't stayed healthy. Am I right, Sam?
He had some issues early on, but to be fair, he has rushed for over 1,000 yards in each of the last 4 seasons. I think he's kind of putting those injury woes, which he had at the beginning of his career, behind him. And yes, he has destroyed the Lions at times. Good riddance if he goes.
You know, I don't really even remember who they have as a backup.
They have
Madison.
Yes, Alexander Madison.
Alexander Madison.
They
might have drafted
who
somebody
they plan to go with.
They probably drafted someone that we don't know.
Yeah, maybe
last year or this year. I don't have their draft in front of me.
Again, it just feels like if the Detroit Lions don't win this division, it is an absolute failure. This division might be the worst in football.
No way. The South of AFC. AFC South is the worst.
It may rival that. I mean, I don't expect Chicago to win 4 games. I don't believe that Green Bay will win more than 6 or 7.
You hit it last year.
I don't believe Chicago will win more than 5 or 6. And I don't believe Minnesota will win more than 8 or 9.
Okay. Sounds about right then. It's not a very good division then, if that's the way you're looking at it.
That's how I see it. And if the Detroit Lions don't win, I mean...
Isn't this something? Listen.
I think the Lions might be the surest bet of any division winner outside of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wow.
Outside of the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think the Lions winning the division is number 2 in my terms of confidence level of division winners.
Yeah, I'm going through in my head, and I can't think of one.
Even the Chiefs
ahead.
Even the Chiefs. I mean, that's a tough division. That's a hell of a conference.
People will say San Francisco, but Seattle is going to be better. Rams are going to be better.
And the Rams are going to be better.
Not that good, but a little bit better. But Seattle is going to be knocking on the door.
Seattle will be knocking on the door, and I don't believe that the 49ers have solved their quarterback problem at all.
Well, they're trying to keep it together until Brock Purdy gets better.
Brock Purdy probably won't play all year. And
He's
again, if you're telling me that Sam Darnold is going to be competing against a Geno Smith or a Matt Stafford, I'd probably take Geno Smith.
Well, don't forget, this guy is being mentored by Kyle Shanahan. He's the quarterback whisperer. So I think Sam Darnold, and correct me if I'm wrong there, Sam, Sam Darnold, I think is in a really good spot.
He's in about as good of a spot as he possibly can be for a career renaissance. I mean, I'm kind of with you, Maz. Putting all your eggs in the Sam Darnold basket, I don't think is smart, but I am way higher on him than I think the average person is. I was high on him when he came out in the draft. He obviously flamed out in New York with the Jets, and he was solid last year with Carolina. He was the best quarterback that they had all year, and now he's going to as good of a situation as possible. The 49ers, if they have to go with Sam Darnold, they can win with him, and that's all you really need with that system, at least as a placeholder.
You know, I'm just looking at the divisions.
And Trey Lance, we don't know what he's got
Yeah,
yet.
we don't know. I guess you could say Philadelphia, too, but, I mean, the Cowboys won 12 games last year. Are the Eagles going to have a repeat 14-3 year?
Wow. I think they could.
They absolutely could. But, again, if I had to look at division winners in terms of my confidence as to who's going to win them, I'd say Jacksonville, number 1. I think they are a deadlock to win the AFC South, barring injury, of course. And then I think the Lions.
a team that hasn't won their division in
93?
Yeah, that's the last one.
30 years. I mean, Cincinnati, Baltimore, they'll be duking it out.
Yeah.
You've got the Jets.
Cleveland and Pittsburgh is in there, too.
Yep. You've got Bills, Dolphins, Jets.
With
That's
New
up in
England
the air.
as the also ran.
Yeah. Chiefs, Chargers. I think the Broncos are,
Yeah,
then you got
they're on the outside.
Eagles,
there.
Cowboys, Giants.
Nah.
Anybody could win the NFC South.
NFC South, you got Carolina, Atlanta. Those are the top two.
New Orleans.
Followed by New Orleans and
then you look at the NFC West. I could be crazy. I've been called crazy
Tampa
before,
Bay's in
but
there too. Baker Mayfield, Tampa.
My goodness. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. Come right back. More here on WoodwardSports.com.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
On your phone, you can.
I can.
Yes, on your phone, you can.
Okay.
I'll show you how to do it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
You not understand.
I have to teach Ryan how to look at a rundown when I send it to him.
Look, the Lions are coming,
Look at
baby.
them. Isn't that cool?
Look at how gorgeous they are.
They are. Look
Isn't
at
that
pie.
a beautiful cat?
Now, you know who put this out? BetMGM.
Look at
They're
that.
like, the Lions are coming.
That is a beautiful cat.
He is. They're gallant.
Wow.
They've been abused here in Detroit for fucking 60 years.
Oh my
Let
gosh.
them roam. Let them be proud again.
What do you think that is? That's not like in a zoo, is it?
No, that's got to be out in Africa. What do I know? No, there's a paved road. They're on a paved road. That could be, I don't know where the hell that is.
Oh my gosh.
It could be up north somewhere.
All right,
That's
take a
all I
look
know.
at Good Morning. The Detroit Lions are playing on opening night. We coming, right? Absolutely. WoodwardSports.com. So BetMGM also put out over-unders. These are season win totals. Will they win more or less than these totals? And the number we care about specifically is the Detroit Lions. You see it there at 9.5 wins. So if they win 10 or more games, that would be over.
Yes.
If they win 9 or under, that would be a win for the under.
Correct.
If they win less than 10 games this year, it's a failed season. I think they absolutely win more than 10. And just look at, I can tell you right now, Atlanta, Packers, Carolina, Tampa, Packers, Saints, Chicago, Denver, Dallas.
That's it. That's 10.
Yeah, and then Minnesota.
Bears twice.
So I mean,
what are they going to be in the division? 5-1 at worst.
5-1 at worst.
Okay.
6-0 though.
So if they go 5 wins in their own division, which they did last year, they should be able to repeat that this year.
Yeah.
And 5 wins in their division, all you're looking for is 5 more wins.
Right. I'm looking at
out of the next 12
Tampa
games.
Bay, Atlanta, Saints. There's 3.
There you go.
And then, Denver at home, Vegas on Monday night, the Raiders.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, come on. They absolutely have that. Any other numbers on here that jump out at you?
I wanted to look at all of them and get your opinion on all of them to see if you like the over. So what's the first one? What's the first bunch of teams?
The Cincinnati Bengals 11.5.
All the 11.5 teams are the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Niners, and the Bills.
So I'm going to go under for the Bengals, under for the Chiefs, under for the Niners.
Okay.
I don't believe in the Niners. I am not a believer in the Niners, and I would never take an over against on an AFC team. I think that conference is just too
good.
hard.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of parity in that conference. Jacksonville 10.5. I think they could win that division at 10-7.
Eagles are only 10.5.
Eagles are 10.5. Yeah,
That's low.
Well, again, that's
something
why
smells.
When I go in my put my crystal ball hat on, and I say that the Lions, to me, have the second most confidence to win their division, that's why. That is absolutely why.
I'm going to click on this thing.
Minnesota Vikings 8.5. So the Lions have the highest win total over under in the division. Lions 9.5, Minnesota 8.5, Green Bay 7.5, Chicago 7.5. That is where you sit right now. Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay, Chicago.
You like the Vikings under 8.5?
I do.
How about the Giants 8.5?
I like under as well.
Steelers 8.5.
I like. Well, I got to go with Mike Tomlin. He's never had a losing season.
But it's AFC.
Yeah, I know. But I'd go over on Mike Tomlin 9-8.
Seahawks 8.5.
Seahawks they're an interesting team, man.
They could fall back.
They could. When I always talk about NFC teams, I talk about the Eagles, I talk about the Niners. I don't talk about the Seahawks.
Right.
That to me is a very intriguing team.
They weren't supposed to be good last year, and they played so well and got in the playoffs that you have to respect them.
You absolutely
Pete Carroll.
do. Geno Smith got a new deal. They added a wide receiver. They added defense.
So you're taking over?
I would take over on that.
All right.
NFC team, yeah, I would take them over.
Carolina 7.5.
Whew.
AFC South.
Carolina
NFC
could win
South.
that division
Yeah.
with Bryce Young. I wouldn't. That's a no.
He's not going to start. Andy Dalton's starting.
I don't think Andy Dalton's starting.
Okay.
I mean, you could say he's starting now, but I don't think he's starting.
Oh, you taking the over?
Not with a rookie. No, I think they might have a step back. I don't know.
They have Atlanta as the favorite at 8.5.
Really?
In that division.
That's why. Yeah, woof.
It's on the other sheet.
What a terrible division that is.
It is. So I'm going to take over on Carolina. And the Bears 7.5. I'm going to take under.
Stay in the Lions division. Can you do that for me for a minute?
Yeah.
So you've got Detroit 9.5. You've got Minnesota
8.5.
8.5. You've got Green Bay and Chicago
7.5.
I go over Detroit, under Minnesota, under Chicago, under Green Bay.
I think Green Bay will be the over. And I believe Minnesota will be over. I do. I think they won 13 games last year. Now you tell me they can't win 9?
Yes.
Why? Tell me why. Did the whole team leave? Sam? Minnesota, 8.5.
God, I would. You know what? Minnesota 8.5. I would probably go. You know what? I'm going to go under. I know. I'm with Ryan on this one.
So you're going to say 8 wins?
I think Kirk Cousins sucks.
So 5 less wins, you're saying?
The Minnesota Vikings were statistically the luckiest team in NFL history. They were 11-0 in one-score games. That's impossible. They were outscored on the season. They had a worse turnover differential than the Lions. They had a lot of luck on their side.
They will not. I guarantee you this, Tom Mazawey.
Oh my God!
I guarantee you. And I would, if I had $1 million, I would bet $2 million on this.
Come on.
That the Minnesota Vikings will not go 11-0 in one-score games this year.
Well, okay.
No, Ryan, I will take that one step further. I would bet that much money that no NFL team in the history of the NFL ever will do that again. That's impossible. That's impossible.
So you could take your 12 or 13 wins or whatever they had last year.
13.
And okay, so 11 one-score. You can say 7-4. 7-4 in those one-score games.
Okay, so that they can't win 2 more games somewhere else.
What's yeah, they could probably win 2 more.
So that puts them on the over.
Well, we'll see.
Okay, Green Bay, 7.5.
Oh God!
You got under Green Bay 7.5.
Yes, I think Green Bay is a 7-win football team at most.
So 7-10.
I think Jordan Love stinks. That football team stinks. They will be. They might be the last place team in the division this year. I think they will have a horrible year.
5 primetime games, 6 if you count Thanksgiving.
Hey, all you got to do is go back to last year to see what a primetime game means to a team. Nothing.
I understand.
The Denver Broncos were atrocious. They were on primetime 5 times last year.
I know, but their over-under was like 10.5.
I understand
this
that.
Team is 7.5. Why would the NFL subject us to watching the Packers 5 or 6 times in primetime if they're going to be this bad?
The Packers are going to suck. I think the team that might be a little interesting here is the Chicago Bears. I think they may be a little bit interesting.
Okay, so basically you're taking a team that basically stripped off 90% of their team and like started again.
I do like
they
Justin.
Have sold off every asset that they had to get draft picks. And you think they're going to improve over the Vikings who won 13 games and the Packers who won 9.
I'm a very simple man.
I see that.
Okay, I'm a very simple man. I look at the quarterbacks and I say, who's good? Rank your quarterbacks in this division. For me, Jared Goff, Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, and Jordan Love. And who are my teams that I say are going to be good? Detroit, Chicago, Minnesota, and Green Bay.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins ain't it, bro.
So he's just going to fall off the earth.
He already has.
All right. Sam, 7.5 for the Packers.
That's over by 1. I think they'll also be an 8-win. I think they'll be an 8-win football team just like the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, they got some pieces on defense. Guys like Rashawn Gary coming back, Jair Alexander, and a great running back and a very good backup running back. I think they will be better than Ryan you think, but I don't think they're a playoff team. Give me 8.
And Bears 7.5. I already heard him.
Ooh.
Not really. You didn't tell me the Bears. 7.5.
I think they are on. I think they're like a 7-win football. Let me put it like this: I don't think anybody in the division is going to win less than 6, but I don't think anybody's going to win more than 9 outside of the Lions.
So,
like I think Chicago, Green Bay, and Minnesota, their win totals will go from 6 to 9.
All right.
Maybe Minnesota sneaks in at 9 and 8. And maybe Chicago is a 6-win team and Green Bay is a 7-win team, or vice versa.
Okay, fine. So he's betting the Lions over, the other 3 teams under. That's what it comes down to.
Correct.
Okay, good for you.
Good for you, Jack.
Good for you, Jack.
This is great. Guys, we're going to take a break.
I got something on Hunter Dickinson.
I wanted to get there next. Hunter Dickinson.
And I got the Michigan guy in the booth.
And I agree with Hunter Dickinson. I have your back, Hunter Dickinson. More on that coming up. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference today for yourself. All you have to do is visit their steak shop at Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order online, fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. Sourced, cut, aged, packed to perfection.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, welcome back, woodwardsports.com. If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get to over 225 likes.
Oh, we're up
by
to,
the
we're
end
up to
of
that
this
much
day.
already?
Oh, yeah. Let's get there, baby. Really good day today. We're having a lot of fun. Tom Mazawey and
Thanks for your laughter.
Oh man, it is so fun to laugh. I'm telling you, you were killing me in that last segment.
Well,
you're a
I
real
tried.
goofy guy. I'll tell you that.
I can tell you.
Very goofy.
Hey, shout out to Jason from Guardian. He dropped by.
Stay out. I thought you were supposed to stay out.
Stay out.
They almost made me. They weren't sure.
Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for your partnership here at Woodward Sports. We appreciate it. So many good things happening. Maz, I did want to change it up because I found this interesting from Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah.
Walk us through what Hunter Dickinson
I will.
kind of tweeted out here.
Well, basically, we all know last week he made his decision, left Michigan to go to Kansas to play his last year. And the reason being, he comes out and he says, hey, listen, you guys would leave too. You would leave your job as well if someone offered you $10,000 and a chance to win a championship. And I'm not making that much money. And take it from there.
Here's what he tweeted out. Actually, it was a podcast. It was not a tweet. It was a podcast. Here's the quote. The people hating on me would leave their job right now for a $10,000 increase. I got less than six figures at Michigan for the year. And that is Hunter Dickinson on his decision to leave Michigan for Kansas via the Round Ball podcast. Now, look, I completely agree with this decision. And I wouldn't be hating on Hunter Dickinson if I was a Michigan person. What you have to understand is these college athletes, specifically basketball players, do you know how hard it is to make it to the NBA?
Yeah. Almost as hard as baseball.
Probably harder because there are less spots. I mean, they play this game all over the world. And what do you got? 13, 14 spots on a roster?
If that.
Hunter Dickinson is not going to play in the NBA. And if he does, he's not going to have a long career. He'll be a one-contract guy. He'll be a two-way contract player where he's going back up to the NBA, going back down to the G League, going up to the NBA, going down to the G League, and then he'll be forced to play in Europe somewhere or Russia or wherever else they play basketball. So Hunter Dickinson has to make what he can make right now. And if you have the ability to go make six figures at Kansas and they're paying you less than that at Michigan, you've got to do it. I fully support Hunter Dickinson for going to try to capitalize on his name. And, you know, is $100,000, $200,000 life-changing money?
It would be for me.
It absolutely can be. It's a hell of a head start.
Yeah.
You know, if you were a really good business person or you had the ability to invest that money and really smart about that money, that is a great, great start to the rest of your life, man. And no, it's not the $20 million contract that maybe somebody will get, but he's not getting that in the NBA.
So if he wasn't making six figures, he was making 90. So this
let's
10.
Let's say he was making $75,000.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying now it kind of seems that he says now I'm going to make six figures. So if he was making 90, now he's making 100. And then it goes away when he's done playing. He's got to go out and try to sign another contract, like you said, maybe with the G League or abroad. So here's my problem. It's with Michigan, obviously. It's Juwan Howard has lost a bunch of players. And this ain't the same team that he inherited from John Beilein and got to 2 Final Fours. Things are just not good right now in Ann Arbor. And Sam, I'll come to you because this is something that you follow near and dear to your heart. How far off base am I here?
You're not off base, unfortunately. I mean, obviously, if you're Hunter Dickinson, there's no conceivable reason why you would stay at Michigan as opposed to going to Kansas if you're getting more money, if you're getting to play at a better program where you can possibly get more exposure and maybe even have that Final Four run where you play really well. And hell, maybe if that occurs, maybe Hunter Dickinson will get drafted at maybe the end of the second round and be a guy who potentially becomes like a two-way contract kind of guy and at least fulfills that dream. The reality is, if they're not offering as much NIL money at Michigan the last couple of years has been a little bit, I know this is going to sound strong, but a basketball wasteland. They've had a lot of talent. They've had a lot of talented players come through, but last year they missed the tournament, and the year before they made a nice Sweet 16 run, but overall had a very, very disappointing season. And that is with Hunter Dickinson playing very, very well. He probably sees a cap on how much money he can make at Michigan and a cap on how far he can go in terms of the tournament at Michigan. So Kansas, it's a no-brainer. I'm not mad at him at all. Do what you got to do, man. Like I'll support Hunter Dickinson 100% in this.
Would you say he dogged it last year until the end of the year when maybe he was trying to show off and say, "Hey, I can go play for anybody"? I just didn't think he was engaged last year. The team was flawed, I guess.
I mean, I'll never forgive him for that terrible game against Central Michigan where they I mean, that was obviously, that was terrible. I get what you're saying, but at the end of the season, when they had the end of the year, 3 games to get them into the tournament and 1 Big Ten tournament game, Hunter Dickinson gave you an average of 26 points, 12 rebounds on 60% shooting and 60% from 3. He put the team on his back. He did what he had to do. And I got really upset with some of the Hunter Dickinson slander because he is still one of the best players of this program and under Juwan Howard in the past 4 or 5 years.
If he could have gone to the NBA, though, he would have done it after 2 years ago. Then he would have done it after last year. Instead, he's playing a 5th season of college basketball. So he's not going to play in the NBA. He might get a look. He might get a shot at it, but he's not going to have some crazy, great career, second contract kind of stuff in the NBA. It's just not going to happen.
No. That's why he stayed, to make some money. I don't blame him one bit. If you're staying at a job that, maybe I don't really want to be here, but, I'm making decent money. I can't make it over there. That's what he's doing.
It does highlight, though, seemingly Michigan's lack of prowess when it comes to NIL and basketball.
Yeah, they're so far behind.
In football, I do think there is an element to the football situation where Jim Harbaugh could recruit it's a transformational, not a transactional kind of mentality.
Yeah, he's figured a way out.
I think you could weave that through in football. In basketball, you can't. You only have so many years to make a dollar. And it's just not working out for Juwan Howard at Michigan. Somebody pointed out on here on the WoodwardSports.com chat, worst shape, Ronan 99, worst shape, U of M basketball or MSU football?
Ooh.
It is clearly MSU football.
Yes, it is.
It is clearly MSU football. Basketball, you get 1 or 2 players, you can turn it around like that.
Yeah.
Football, man, that's a culture thing. That thing can go south real quick.
That thing went south quick.
And we don't even know if it really went south or if it was just all Kenneth Walker. That
still went south.
Yeah, that could have just been a Kenneth Walker year and everything.
You had the locker room fight last year.
It's like putting a lipstick on a pig.
I'm just telling you, there's a lot of problems there. They had some problem guys there. Hopefully they got rid of most of the guys that were bad seeds, and we'll see how they go following up. But Tuck ain't coming. Not yet.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, NBA, NHL playoff series could end tonight. Series did not end last night in both sports.
I gave you all the winners last night.
You did. You got any more tonight? Tom Mazawey is going to make you some money. But first, a message from Cousins Maine Lobster.
All right, Cousins Maine Lobster. You know the deal. If you're a seafood lover, and I know you are, it's going to be like you're on at Maine. You're going to be like on the East Coast. Ordering that lobster, ordering that crab.
Ooh-wee.
Cousins Maine Lobster's right here in Detroit. They got 2 food trucks rolling around the streets of Detroit. All you got to do is click on that QR code right over there on top of my head there. It'll take you right to their website, and you can download their schedule and their app. And if you order ahead, you start getting points. Lindsey Hunter's he's got quite a few points now because he loves going to Cousins Maine Lobster. Make sure you tell him Woodward Sports sent you. Check it out, cousinsmainelobster.com.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, wake up. Wake up. Hopefully you are woken up. Welcome back, WoodwardSports.com. Check out WoodwardSports.com for all the latest news, articles, the shop. Great merchandise there as well. Get your golf gear at WoodwardSports.com. Tom Mazawey, let's start in the NBA.
All right. Last night I gave you the 2 winners. I said the Knicks and the the Knicks and the Dubs are going to stay alive. They did just that. So they will play Game 6s in both of those series. You know the scoop. Tonight, the 76ers can finish off the Boston Celtics up 3-2, and they're home, Ryan. Philly is home tonight. James Harden bringing John Howe from MSU. One of the kids in the shooting, will be there at the in Philadelphia to watch this game and hopefully see Philly close out Boston.
I think it's over for Boston. I think their run is, I don't want to say over, but they're going to have to change course here. I think Philadelphia wins tonight. I think Philadelphia moves on to the Eastern Conference Finals. And good for Doc Rivers. I mean, Doc Rivers has endured a lot, too, as a head coach in this league, most notably for the Clippers. Just never got it done there. Yep. And Philadelphia, if he didn't make it to the conference finals, maybe he gets run out of town in Philadelphia as well with Embiid and Harden. I think they get it done tonight. Boston done. Jaylen Brown out. They're going to have to ship him out.
I'm probably going to go Philly in this one. It just kind of feels like with the Celtics, like you said, Ryan, that it is over. And Jason Tatum, I think he's going to have to wear a lot of this. He's obviously had some good games, but he's also had some famous no-shows in playoff games, particularly last year in the NBA Finals where he shot under 40% in 4 out of the 6 Finals games. He's not a superstar. He's just a star. But on the other hand, playoff Embiid and playoff Harden, they've had their own struggles. So I would still probably go with 76ers given that they're at home.
Okay, I got you guys a lot of money last night. I'm going to let you double down tonight.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, John Howe. You're going to have to fly to Boston. The Celtics will win tonight and survive to play a Game 7 back at the Boston Garden.
They're a 2-point favorite on the road tonight, which is a really fishy line.
Give.
Yeah. It's a fishy line. It is.
Give the 2.5. They'll be playing a game 7. Nuggets, 1 win away. They are playing at the Suns tonight. I'm going to go to Sam first. Jokic or Ishbia?
I gotta go Jokic in this one. I just found out that DeAndre Ayton is out for Phoenix tonight, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but who in the world is gonna guard Nikola Jokic? Jokic is having a historically great playoff run right now, and I think he understands what a finals MVP would do for his legacy. I got Denver closing it out in Phoenix tonight.
Ryan?
I have Denver as well. I think Denver is going to win the championship this year.
A lot of people are saying
I
that.
think the Denver Nuggets, this is their year.
They've never won. The last time they won a championship when they were in the ABA and they beat Dr. J and the Nets.
Look at
the
that.
Nets got them back the following year. That's 1975, by the way.
Unbelievable.
It's I'm sorry, guys. The Suns are winning tonight. It's going back to Denver for Game 7. It just is.
So,
It just
okay,
is.
good. Very
the
good.
Suns.
Yeah, good for you.
NHL, here we go. Tonight, Devils down 3-1 at Carolina. Sam.
This is, to me, and I hate to say this is the playoff series that I care the least about. I think there's no sex appeal whatsoever. I mean, I'd like to see Jack Hughes make it far, but I think that Carolina clearly will. Hey, we tried, and the NHL didn't reward us, but I think the Carolina Hurricanes are going to mollywop them tonight.
I couldn't be less interested when the Carolina Hurricanes play hockey. They do nothing for me. Zero. Automatic channel changer, the Hurricanes for me.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you got against the Canes?
I just don't like them.
You're not a Caniac?
No, I don't like the newer teams. I don't like the Panthers. I don't like the Hurricanes.
Well, they're the old Whalers.
I understand that.
They're not really new.
Well,
They're
they're the Hartford
rebranded.
Whalers. They're the Hartford Whalers.
I love the Whalers.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
God.
whale.
Save the whale.
Very good.
Too late anyway. Devils, they're going to bring it back to Jersey. Devils win tonight in overtime. They bring it back to Jersey. And then we got the last game, Kraken at the Stars. I know you guys don't know either of these teams. It's tied at 2.
What sport is that?
I'm not even going to go around. It's
What
Kraken
sport is
Stars tied at 2. I want to show you this video. This was yesterday at the AA park of the Florida Marlins. There's a kid named Yuris Perez who is one of the top prospects in all of baseball. Tall, lanky kid, can throw the ball 100 miles an hour. This is him coming in to his manager's office to probably get a boost to AAA, except he's going a little higher than that.
There you go. All right, Yuri. Obviously, we knew you weren't going to stay here long. So, but before we promote you to Jacksonville, we need to go over a few things, okay? That's the video.
That is only the third run. Swing and a miss on a hard slider.
Te tengo una mala noticia, es que voy a tener ahora que verte la cara todos los días, de verdad. Pero, mi hermano, ¿tú crees que tú estás listo para que en Grandes Ligas? De verdad muy contento por ti, bien merecida esa oportunidad. Te vemos pronto por aquí, se te quiere.
Congratulations.
Earned it. You ready?
Hey, Friday night. Be you. Tell him.
Newest member of the Marlins right here.
Well, that's great. He's picked it tomorrow night at Marlins Park.
We will
man.
see you tomorrow night. Tom Mazawey, hell of an effort out of you today, my friend. Love working with you. Braylon will be back tomorrow. The great Fletcher over there. Hello. The great Sam Flannel as well. And the great Guardian Alarm. We have to give a wave to our friends from Guardian Alarm. Jason, yeah, baby.
Jason,
stay out. Can we get a stay out?
1-800-STAY OUT.
Stay out, baby.
Get out. Hit the bricks.
Right. We're going to stay out now. We're heading out. We'll see you tomorrow. Tell a friend about Woodward Sports. Thanks for all the likes. Hit that like button for us.
Go Devils.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.